Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of Blue Book MKE and moreleadssteve.com. And in this video, what I want to do is I want to go over a training that I believe will be very beneficial to your business, because one of the things that I run into when I consult with companies, and I actually ran into this for myself with my businesses, and when I started my newspaper publication, I was not aware that I was actually doing this, but it was more on a manual type basis by me going out door to door. We're talking about way back in the 1990s. But when online advertising came about, what I started doing was I started spending money, which is something that you're probably doing, spending money on advertising. And when I did not get the result, let me turn this down here on my other computer. When I didn't get the results right away, the number one thing that always came to my mind was I'm spending money and I'm not getting a result. But really, you're not spending money and not getting a result if you're doing it the way that I'm about to teach you. What you have to get used to doing is you have to get used to maximizing your leads. And I'm going to show you ways that other people have done it, and these ways work, and then the way that I've done it, which is a way that I believe is easier for someone to actually make money up front or make money daily from their leads, with the ultimate goal of selling your top line product or service. So now let me show you something. This is your product or service. Let's just say it's $900. It could be less. And as a matter of fact, if your product is less, then you're going to really want to pay attention to this, because you're going to have things like this added into your marketing to be able to survive. Because if you don't have a high price, high ticket product or service, it's going to be very hard for you to survive, or some type of a reoccurring offer. It's going to be very hard for you to survive, because if you're making one sale, you're going to be, living off of just one sale from your customers. It's going to be very hard for you to survive month to month. So, but in this example, what we're going to say is that you have a high ticket product. And then I'm showing you my 3-step process that I teach is to make a winning ad, social lead forms, and then send people to your offer so you can make money. And let's just say that you're starting with a $10 a day budget. Very reasonable budget, just to try to see how things are going to work. So what most people do, and you've probably seen this, you've seen it with Tony Robbins, Frank Kern, different people who offer products or services. They'll get you to become a lead, and then they'll make this offer, and it might be something that's like $49. And you're like, why are they making me this $49 offer? Because I know that they're trying to sell me something bigger. That might be running through your mind. Or maybe you're not even aware of it, and they give you this $49 offer on the way to getting to their big offer. A lot of people call this a tripwire, and the reason why they put this offer in there is not really to sell that product. Well, in a way it is to sell that product, which that product would be to get you more interested in their big product that they have here. But also, that money is put so they can continue advertising. They call this a self-liquidating offer. Self-liquidating offer, that means that they're going to make this offer to you, and what that offer is really doing is to help them make money to continue advertising. Now, back when this was first created, there were advertisers that was making way more than what it cost them for their advertising, because people were just falling for these tripwires all over, left and right. Now people do not really jump onto those. They're like, hey, show me what you had to offer. I'm not interested in getting this other little product. Maybe some people do, and it'll just make up a little bit of the money that they spend on advertising, but it doesn't work the way that it used to. And then the back end, they would have, which would be to go to the big product. So they would say, okay, we're going to get rid of this, or we're going to offer this, but a lot of people aren't jumping on that. So we got to have that huge back end offer to make up for the money that we spend on advertising, and to be able to make a profit and to be able to pay people, because it's not going to work if you're not being able to pay people and pay yourself and pay the advertising and pay the bills and taxes and all that stuff. So that's why if your product or service is very cheap or it's not reoccurring, it's going to be very difficult for you to continue with your business. And this is why a lot of people struggle with their business. So let me show you what I came up with, and it made it a huge difference with my business, and it takes away the struggle, and it allows you to advertise even more. So what I did is I came up, so we have our structure, which is the way that I build all of my campaigns and advertising, which is my 3-step social media lead form process. So we got our winning ad. Everything starts with the winning ad. And I show you how to make winning ads. But if you know how to make ads, you got to have a winning ad first. That's step 1. Because it's if you can't skip this step and make it over here in this step. I always talk about that. So now we got our social media lead forms. And I show you how to do that. And then we have our offer, which is where you make money. So now, what I did is, I was very good at making ads. I discovered with the lead form process, and let me give you one of the huge benefits of using the social media lead forms, is that you don't have to become a specialist at landing pages. So let me put a big no landing, and something's going on with my pen here. No landing pages. I'm going to put it here. No landing pages required. No landing pages required. So that takes that step out of there, because the more steps that you have to send someone through in the process of becoming a sale, the more stuff that you have to do to be able to make a sale, the less it is for you possibility of you even following through with the process, because us as humans always try to backtrack to do something a lot easier. And I saw where even myself, when you have to deal with making a landing page to be able to get leads, it makes it a lot harder, because number one, you're making your prospects go through an extra step. And then you have to worry about making a winning landing page, which that means you have to do a winning ad and a winning landing page. I'm showing you how to skip that process. Now, what we do and what I do is I capture the leads and then I put them into an autoresponder. And I show you how to do this. This is very important, because if you don't have an autoresponder process in place, you are making the work double hard for yourself. This is like your worker. This is a worker for you. That's how I want you to think about it. Your autoresponder is an employee that is working for you 24/7, 365 days a week without complaining. This worker will send the message the same way every time, the way that you instructed. This worker will send the message on the days and the time and the hour that you instructed without complaining. So you have to put an autoresponder in place, or you're going to make just make it very difficult on yourself and make it hard for you to compete with what the pros are doing. So now, when you're generating leads, I'm going to open up your mind on what really made a difference for my business. And I'm not going to specifically show you the products or the services, uh, and because that wouldn't be fair to myself, and it wouldn't be fair to other businesses that I do this for, or that I've went through my training and they've done it. Because when you, this part here that I'm going to show you, when you use your creative mind on what to do with those leads, your profitability is going to go up and your advertising ability is going to go up. Because when I put this in place for my business, it made me want to spend more money on advertising to generate leads, because I was able to make more money on from the leads that I generated. So now, think about this way. Your product or service that you offer, and you as an individual, would you buy your product or service? Would you buy it from yourself? And you would say, yes, you would buy it from yourself. And I'm going to move down here. I kind of skipped ahead a little bit. So this is you and your product / service. Would you buy it? And obviously you would buy it. So now, taking you, I want you to list, and we'll just keep this short for now, 5 other products and services that you yourself would buy. Not that's related. It don't have to be related to your product or service, and maybe it could be related. Let's just say related and not related to your product or service. Just pick them. Just, one product or service number 1, product or service number 2, product or service number 3, product or service number 4, product or service number 5 that you would buy, and we know that you are related to your product or service. So now what I want to do is I want to open your eyes to something that I did, and when I put this in place for my business, it actually brought in a lot more revenue. And what ended up happening is I had to make different departments for one of my businesses, because when I was able to do this, it actually made another business inside of my business. Actually, with 2 of my businesses, it made a business inside of my business that I was able to offer. So now, I'm just going to talk about the prices that I got, or the amount of money that not the amount of money, but the service or the product, how much that cost for what I was offering with one of my businesses when I did this expanded thinking process. And remember, we are communicating with our list using the autoresponder. So what happened is I'm always pushing my ultimate product or service, and this one isn't mine. I have another, it's actually lower than that, but I'm always pushing my ultimate product or service, and that's what you will always do. But you will institute within your communication with your leads other products and services that you can offer, and you can become affiliates with other companies, which is something you can do, or you can offer additional lower cost or even maybe higher cost products and services within your business, which is something that ended up happening with me. So now, with one of the services that I was offered as an affiliate for another company, I was making 10% commission on whatever was purchased from the leads that I sent to that company. 10% of all the sales. And I believe that product with them, I was making about, it was $25 to $55 per sale. And every day that I sent out that email, I would make, $200 to $300. So that went into helping with my leads. On this one here, the next one, and I'm looking down here, with I made $149, and this was a service that I offered within my company. So that helped with my advertising, but also with this customer, they also could potentially become a customer with my main product, which was a higher cost product or service. Also, within this one, I had a service where I would sell the information, and I made it was $10 per sale for this. And actually, this was an ebook that I created, and I would make $10 per sale with that ebook from just generating from the leads that I was sending. From the leads that I had already generated, I would send them this offer, and I would make $10 per ebook. I sell these every night. I send out this email at 8 p.m. every night, and I make sales from this every night. The next one that I had was another commission product with another company, a national company, and I'll show you how to make these connections. It was $250 per sale. And when I would send out the email with this particular company, they would take the phone calls and they would make the sales, and they would pay me the commission on a monthly basis. My highest month was a little over $5,000. My highest month in commission that I made from that company. And then there was another offer that I have, and it was $39.95, and I have other ones too. I'm just gonna stop it here so we don't make the video go too long. But this one here was another offer, and this was within my company. And the great thing about this one and this one, and this one is that I didn't have to do any of the work, none of the work for it. We did have to do some work for this one here. But so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and currently I have probably about 10 different offers that I don't have to do any work, or myself or an employee has to do any of the work. That's just revenue coming in, with the ultimate goal is to keep pumping up more ads so we can get more people coming through. So this is what I want you to do as your homework for your expanded, I call this expanded thinking, like being more creative. And because I have more time, I don't work in my business, I work on my business. I have employees that work in my business, but just like you, if you're not at this point, I did have to work in my business. And when I was able to put things like this into place with all of my businesses, it allowed me to be more creative, to think of things that can bring in more revenue, bring in more leads, bring in more customers. And this is what I want you to do, because this is what companies do. This is what the big boys do, the big girl companies do, is they think of different things that bring in more revenue so they can bring in more leads, and more leads, seeing what you have to offer, will bring you more sales for your top line product or service. So what I want you to do, if you haven't done it already, I want you to click that link below. If you have not, I want you to take a look at what we had to offer. I teach you my 3-step, I call it 3-step social lead form process. I want you to take a look at that. Go to www.moreleads, and that's a S, Steve.com, to learn more about this process. It will help you grow your business. If you've ever had trouble where you couldn't generate leads, or you were spending money on advertising and it just seemed to not work out for you, I have the solution for you. And I'll also give you ideas for expanding this part here. I show you exactly how I do it on a daily basis, and what you can, different companies that you can contact, and where to go, and how to work with them. They're ready and willing and able to work with your company. All right, thanks a lot for your time, and until next time.